Welcome back, everybody. Today we're taking a deep dive into something that you probably already have in your kitchen. Apples. We're going way beyond that, an apple a day saying.
Right.
And we're really looking at apples and their connection to weight loss.
Interesting.
We've got a bunch of articles from sources like Everyday Health and Healthline here.
Okay.
And we're going to try to figure out if apples really can help us manage our weight.
I like that. You said help us manage our weight because it's not like, it's not some magic bullet.
Right.
But there are a lot of really interesting things about apples that can definitely contribute.
I'm excited to hear it because, honestly, I've tried all sorts of different weight loss strategies, and I haven't really focused on apples. What makes them stand out for weight loss?
Well, you know, they're low in calories, around 95 for a medium apple, but there have been studies that show people feel more full after eating an apple than after eating some other snack with the same number of calories. And that's because apples are packed with fiber, around 4 grams per apple.
Wow. I didn't realize it was that much.
Yeah, and it's not just any fiber. It's a mix of soluble and insoluble fiber.
Okay, now remind me, what's the difference between those two types?
Oh, yeah. So insoluble fiber is like...
I know one's good for digestion.
Yeah, it's like the express train through your system.
Okay.
It adds bulk to your stool.
Got it.
Helps keep things moving.
Okay.
And it's mostly in the peel. So
don't peel your apples.
Exactly. Soluble fiber, on the other hand, is a bit more complex.
Wow.
It's found throughout the apple, and it absorbs water and forms kind of a gel in your stomach.
Oh, wow.
And that slows down digestion and makes you feel fuller for longer.
So that's why they always say fiber keeps you full. I get it.
Yeah.
But is that the only reason apples are good for weight loss? I'm seeing a lot in these articles about blood sugar.
Yes. And that's where it gets really interesting.
Okay.
Apples have a low glycemic index, or GI, which means they don't spike your blood sugar levels the way some other sugary foods do.
That makes sense.
When your blood sugar spikes, your body releases insulin.
Yeah.
And that can promote fat storage. But apples, with their low GI, they release sugar into your bloodstream much more slowly.
So you don't get those.
You don't get those crazy spikes and dips.
Yeah, those blood sugar roller coasters.
Exactly.
I hate those.
And so it's easier to manage your weight.
So it's not just about feeling full, it's also about keeping your blood sugar stable.
Exactly right.
Interesting. One of these articles mentions a study that compares apples to pears and oat cookies.
Oh yeah, I saw that one.
They all had similar calorie and fiber counts, but the results were surprising.
Yes, they were.
What happened?
Well, the groups that ate apples and pears lost weight,
Oh, wow.
but the people who ate the oat cookies didn't.
So even though they all had the same calories and fiber,
The same?
the apples and pears were better for weight loss.
Researchers think it's because of the water content in the apples and pears.
Okay.
They're about 85% water.
So that adds to the fullness.
Instead of that feeling of fullness.
Yeah.
And further slows down the absorption of the sugars.
So it's low calories, high fiber, and high water content.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Who knew that apples were like strategically designed for weight management?
Yeah, it really is fascinating.
It is fascinating. But there's one more thing we need to talk about.
What's that?
Inflammation.
Ah, yes.
What does inflammation have to do with weight loss?
So, you know, inflammation can cause aches and pains, but chronic inflammation can also mess with your metabolism,
Really?
which can make it harder to lose weight.
Wow. I didn't know that.
And this is where apples come in again.
Okay.
They're full of antioxidants, especially one called quercetin.
Quercetin?
Yeah, it's a plant compound you find in lots of fruits and vegetables.
Okay.
But apples are a really good source.
Uh-huh.
And studies show that quercetin has powerful anti-inflammatory effects.
Oh, so by reducing inflammation, apples could help us lose weight.
That's the idea.
That's amazing. So they're like little inflammation fighters.
Exactly.
Wow, this is incredible. I'm learning so much.
Me too. I never realized that apples were so much more than just a tasty snack.
That's the beauty of these deep dives, right?
Yeah.
We uncover all these hidden layers of knowledge.
Absolutely. And speaking of uncovering hidden layers, one of the articles mentioned that not all apples are created equal when it comes to weight loss.
Oh, that's right.
Is there really a difference between like a Granny Smith and a Honeycrisp?
There is.
Hmm.
I bet you can guess which one is the best for weight loss.
I'm gonna go with green apples.
You got it.
Really?
Green apples, and especially Granny Smiths, are the weight loss champions.
Interesting. I usually go for the sweeter ones, like a Honeycrisp or a Gala.
Yeah, those are good too.
Okay.
They have a good balance of sweetness and fiber.
But if I'm really serious about weight loss, I should go for Granny Smith.
That's right.
Okay, Granny Smith it is. I'm already feeling so much more informed about how to choose the right apples for my goals.
That's great. But you know what? I think it's time to take a bite out of, well, not an apple just yet, but a quick break.
Sounds good.
We'll be right back with more juicy insights on apples and their incredible health benefits, so stay tuned.
Looking forward to it.
Me too. And we're back. We've been talking about how good apples are for weight loss.
Right.
But I know they have other health benefits too, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Tons. Like for heart health.
Okay, so we know they lower cholesterol because of the soluble fiber.
No, the pectin.
But what else is there?
Well, they're also a good source of potassium.
Okay.
And that's really important for blood pressure.
So it helps keep your blood pressure healthy.
Exactly. And then there are the antioxidants.
Quercetin.
Quercetin. It can actually help protect your blood vessels from damage.
So it's like a triple whammy for heart health.
Yeah.
Lower cholesterol, healthy blood pressure, and then protection.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
That's really good to know. And I've also read that apples are good for your gut.
Definitely.
Is that just because of the fiber, or is there something else going on there?
Well, the fiber definitely plays a huge role.
Okay.
Both types of fiber are good for your digestion.
Right.
The insoluble fiber keeps things moving so you don't get constipated.
Right.
And then the soluble fiber acts as what's called a prebiotic.
Prebiotic. I've heard that word, but what does it mean?
Basically, prebiotics are food for the good bacteria in your gut.
So they help those good bacteria grow.
Exactly. And that helps create a healthy gut microbiome.
Which is important for everything.
Oh, yeah. It affects so many things.
Like what?
Like your digestion, obviously, but also your immune system, even your mental health.
Oh, wow. I didn't realize the gut was connected to mental health.
Yeah, there's a lot of emerging research on that connection.
Wow. Okay, so apples are good for the gut.
Yeah.
And they're good for the heart. What about the brain? I've heard they're good for the brain too.
You heard right.
Really?
Studies have shown that eating apples regularly might actually protect against cognitive decline.
That's amazing.
And reduce the risk of diseases like Alzheimer's.
Wow, so they're like brain protectors.
Kind of.
But how does that work?
Well, scientists are still figuring out all the details, but it seems like the antioxidants are a big part of it.
The quercetin again?
Especially the quercetin. You know, free radicals, those unstable molecules,
Yeah.
they can damage your brain cells,
Okay.
but antioxidants help protect your cells from that damage.
So the antioxidants are like little bodyguards for our brains.
I like that analogy.
I do too. So it's the antioxidants again.
It is, and apples have a bunch of different antioxidants, not just quercetin,
Oh, really?
like catechin and chlorogenic acid.
So they all work together to keep our brains healthy.
You got it.
Wow, apples are like a one-stop shop for good health. Heart, gut, brain.
I know, right? It's pretty impressive.
It really is. And they're delicious. We've been talking so much about the science that we haven't even talked about how to enjoy them.
Well, how do you usually eat your apples?
Honestly, I kind of get stuck in a rut. Like a plain apple or apple with peanut butter.
Oh, come on. You got to get more creative than that.
I know. Give me some inspiration. What are some fun ways to eat apples?
Well, you can slice them, dice them, bake them, roast them. You can even juice them.
Okay.
You can put them in salad smoothies, yogurt bowls,
Okay, those are all good ideas.
even savory dishes.
Savory dishes with apples. Yeah. What, like pork chops with applesauce?
Yeah, that's a classic.
I love that one.
Or you could try something a little more modern.
Okay, like what?
One of the articles mentioned a recipe for a kale and apple smoothie.
Ooh, that sounds healthy.
Super healthy. You get your greens and your fruit all in one.
And lots of fiber.
Tons of fiber.
What else?
You could add sliced apples to a spinach salad with goat cheese and walnuts.
Okay, yeah, that sounds really good.
Doesn't it?
Those both sound amazing.
I know, right? Apples and leafy greens are a great combo.
Agreed. What about something warm, like for a cold day?
Oh, you could make baked apples with cinnamon and a drizzle of honey.
Oh my gosh, stop. My mouth is watering.
I know, right?
That sounds so good.
It's delicious and it's healthy.
I'm definitely feeling inspired to get creative with my apple.
Oh, that's what I like to hear.
I think we've covered just about everything we can about the amazing benefits of apples.
I think so.
But before we wrap things up, we need to talk about how to choose the best apples
Ah, yes, good point.
and how to keep them fresh so we can enjoy all that goodness.
Exactly. Nobody wants a mealy apple.
I know, right?
Eh.
So let's say we're at the grocery store and we're staring at this mountain of apples. How do we pick the best ones?
Okay, so first, look for apples that have smooth, shiny skin.
Okay, smooth and shiny.
Right. No bruises or punctures.
Got it.
And they should feel firm when you touch them.
Not mushy.
Not mushy at all. And don't forget to smell them.
Oh, yeah.
A ripe apple should have a nice, sweet aroma.
Smooth, firm, fragrant.
I'm writing this down.
Good. Now let's say you've got your perfect apples back home. How do you keep them fresh?
That's a good question because they do go bad pretty quickly.
They do. And here's why. Apples release ethylene gas as they ripen.
And that actually speeds up the spoilage.
Oh, wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so your best bet is to store them in the fridge.
In the crisper drawer.
Especially the crisper drawer.
That's where I keep mine.
It helps keep them nice and crisp.
Okay.
And you can also store them in a perforated plastic bag.
What does perforated mean?
It means it has little holes in it.
Okay.
That lets some of the gas escape, but it still keeps them from drying out.
Okay, perforated bag, got it. Now for the best part, eating them. Do you have any tips for how to get the most out of the flavor and the nutrition?
Okay, so this is important. Don't peel your apples.
Oh, really?
The peel is packed with nutrients like fiber and antioxidants.
I always peel them.
I know a lot of people do, but you're missing out on so much goodness.
I had no idea.
Some studies even show that apple peels have more antioxidants than the flesh.
Wow, my mind is blown.
And another tip is to eat different varieties of apples.
Well, that's a good idea.
You know, they all have slightly different nutrients.
Right.
So mixing it up will give you a wider range of vitamins and minerals.
I am so guilty of just sticking to my favorites.
I know, right? It's easy to do, but branch out, try some new ones.
You've convinced me. I'm going to go on an apple adventure.
And remember, they're so versatile. You can eat them in so many different ways.
Sliced, diced, baked, roasted smoothies.
You got it.
I'm feeling so inspired.
That's what I like to hear.
Welcome back to the show. We are ready for the final part of our apple adventure.
I'm excited to wrap things up.
Me too. We've learned so much about how incredible these fruits really are.
They really are nutritional powerhouses.
But before we let everybody go, we still need to cover a few things.
Okay, like what?
Well, we've talked about all the benefits of apples. But how do we actually choose the best ones?
Oh, that's important.
And then once we get those perfect apples home, how do we keep them fresh so we can enjoy all that amazing goodness?
Right, because a mealy apple is just sad.
It really is. So imagine we're at the store staring at this giant pile of apples. What should we be looking for? How do we pick the best ones?
All right, so first you want to look for apples that have smooth and shiny skin.
Okay, no wrinkles.
No wrinkles.
Got it.
And you want to make sure there are no bruises or punctures.
Okay, so smooth, shiny, and unblemished.
Exactly. And they should feel firm when you touch them.
Not squishy.
Not squishy at all. And don't forget to smell them.
You're going to smell the apples.
Absolutely. A ripe apple will have a nice, slightly sweet aroma.
Okay, smooth, firm, fragrant. Got it.
You're going to be an apple expert in no time.
I hope so. Okay, so we've got our perfect apples. We brought them home.
Now what?
How do we keep them fresh? They go bad pretty quickly.
They do, and here's why.
Okay.
Apples release a gas called ethylene as they ripen, and that ethylene actually speeds up the spoilage process.
Oh, wow. So they're making themselves go bad?
Kind of. So the best thing to do is to keep them in the fridge.
In the crisper drawer.
The crisper drawer is your best friend when it comes to apples.
Okay.
It keeps them nice and crisp.
That makes sense.
And here's a pro tip. You can store them in a perforated plastic bag.
What does perforated mean?
It just means the bag has little holes in it.
Oh, okay. I've seen those.
Those little holes let some of that ethylene gas escape.
So they don't go bad as fast?
Exactly. But the bag still helps to keep the apples from drying out.
Okay, so perforated bag in the crisper drawer.
You got it. Now for the best part.
Eating them.
Eating them. Do you have any tips for how to make sure we get the most out of those apples?
Well, I know you're going to say don't peel them.
I'm gonna say that.
But I always peel my apples.
I know, but trust me, the peel is packed with nutrients.
For real?
It's full of fiber and antioxidants.
I had no idea.
It's one of the most nutritious parts of the apple.
Wow.
Some studies even show that the peel has more antioxidants than the flesh.
No way. My whole life has been a lie. I've been throwing away the best part.
It happens. So from now on, promise me you'll keep the peel on.
I promise. What other tips do you have?
Oh, don't be afraid to try different varieties of apples.
I'm so bad at that I always get the same ones.
It's easy to stick with what you know, but each variety has a slightly different flavor and a slightly different nutrient profile.
So if we branch out, we get to try new flavors and get more nutrients.
Exactly. It's a win-win.
Well, I'm definitely feeling inspired to go on an apple adventure now.
That's what I like to hear.
I think it's safe to say that we have thoroughly explored the world of apples.
I think so too.
We have learned about their surprising weight loss powers, their heart-healthy and gut-friendly benefits.
We even talked about how they might protect our brains.
Exactly. And we even learned how to pick the best apples at the store and keep them fresh at home.
All thanks to the power of the crisper drawer.
It really is a magical place. But as with any good deep dive, I think we are left with a few lingering questions. Like what other secrets might the humble apple hold?
Ooh, that's a good question.
What other amazing discoveries are out there just waiting to be uncovered?
It makes you wonder, doesn't it?
It really does. But I think the most important takeaway from all of this is
what's that?
To appreciate the incredible power of this simple fruit.
I agree.
So I encourage everyone listening to embrace the apple in all its forms.
Yes.
Try new varieties, experiment with recipes, and enjoy the simple pleasure of biting into a crisp, juicy apple.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
And on that note, we'll sign off. Until next time, stay curious, keep exploring, and most importantly, keep those apples handy.
Bye, everyone.